I'm in Las Vegas. That's the level of gamble.
The stakes are high in the den.
This ranges from selling very little to absolutely cleaning up.
In this casino royale of commerce,
Shake and not stir.
there are no limits.
The scale of the opportunity feels monumental.
This will be a bet worth making.
Cards are laid on the table,
You're making a movie without the script.
and some ideas are a bust flush.
This is the worst business proposition I've heard since I've been in the den.
I think I'm going to be sick.
But which of the investors will roll the dice?
It's quite a wild offer.
Come on, Deborah.
And which of the entrepreneurs will hit the jackpot?
I think you have basically got the Avengers.
Praise the Lord.
Welcome to Dragon's Den, a cage fight for commerce where no holds are barred. As rookie entrepreneurs go toe-to-toe with 5 business heavyweights. The prize, cash, contacts, and credibility. Sometimes, entrepreneurs like to demonstrate their idea to the dragons before they make their entrance. And that's the case with our first pitch tonight, where Hannah and baby Lale will present the product, if Lale remembers her lines, that is.
Everybody goes, oh, very cute.
It appears babies aren't too scared of dragons.
Oh, I'm your favourite already.
Oh, she likes you, Peter.
The youngest ever entrepreneur in Dragon's Den.
But Lale's main role is to demonstrate easy access maternity wear, and she's putting in a polished performance.
Anyone else feeling sleepy?
You have no idea what she'll have had to go through to make sure that baby was the right level of hungry to be able to make it look that easy.
Yeah, well done.
The duo behind the product are 2 sisters from Newcastle, Alex and Jenny McFadden. Younger sister Jenny learned some harsh economic lessons growing up.
When we were younger, I used to sell Jenny Matt empty hairspray cans for 10 pence.
That is very true. She did, and I was the stupid one paying it.
Today, the 2 are best mates and business partners. And there's no sisterly pressure to perform perfectly in the den.
Don't worry, if you mess up, I'll still love you. I'll not. I will not.
Hello Dragons, my name's Alex.
And my name is Jenny, and we are the co-founders of Pretty Mama.
We are looking for a £30,000 investment for a 20% share in our business. When I had my daughter 4 years ago, I really struggled to find any pretty nursing lingerie and clothing. I'd gone from having beautiful feminine lingerie in a really stylish wardrobe to really plain, boring, frumpy maternity wear, which really lacked in boosting my post-birth body confidence during this amazing bonding experience with my daughter. Mothers from online forums and local baby groups also experienced the same problems, demonstrated to us that there's a gap in the market.
When Alex was pregnant, she found it really difficult to breastfeed, and I see it through her eyes and just watching and being like, I can see you struggle, but there's nothing out there. So this is where we've created a brand like no other.
We've designed the diagonal zips to help improve breastfeeding access, which is unique and designed to Pretty Mama.
And since launching in April 2020, we've turned over £14,700.
There's some samples in the boxes. You've got a jumper, a t-shirt and one of our lingerie sets.
Fashionable maternity wear is the offering from sisters Alex and Jenny McFadden.
See, not scared of me.
Thank you so much, Hannah.
Oh, she doesn't want to go.
They're asking for a modest £30,000 in return for a 20% stake in their business. Sarah Davies is first to quit her northeast neighbours.
Right, guys, the product range looks absolutely brilliant. I probably tried every brand of this sort of stuff when I nursed both of my boys, and you're right, there's some absolutely awful stuff out there. So I can totally understand the need for it. So I was going to ask how you two knew each other.
Sister.
Sister, Brilliant. Oh, I love it. Love a good family story. And have you just finished your first year of trading, the 14,700?
Yeah, so it's 12 months worth of trading.
Right.
Yeah.
So where are you selling this at the moment?
So we sell mainly through our own website and Etsy.
And they're all made in the UK, I see?
Not all of them. So the jumper that you've got is made in the UK from recycled fabrics. And the lingerie is actually made from dead stock fabric.
Which is just upcycled fabric, so it's just buying other companies' waste and using it for our own benefit.
So it's very funny. Tuka and I having this conversation this morning about the whole circular economy and making sure that we keep everything out of landfill.
Yeah.
And you've clearly got that at the heart of what you do. That's
Yeah.
great.
Alex, Jenny, I actually think you've created a really, really good product and brand.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
I don't often come out with that, with the other dragons still in, but I just want to say exactly how it is. I'm actually taken away by the design of that product, the way that you've hidden that zip. If that zip was closed, I actually wouldn't think that there is a zip there, and I think that's very, very clever the way you've done that. So I really like it.
Thank you very much.
Peter Jones nails his colours to the mast and reveals he's seriously impressed with the sisters' clothing concept. Deborah Meaden now wants to find out about the price tags the pair have placed on their products.
So what do they sell for? So this one, for example.
So that one sells for £47. Our t-shirts sell for £42 and our hoodies sell for £45.
That sweatshirt, which is £45, made in China, I saw. What's the cost to you?
£20.
How much?
I know. £20. It's because we were ordering in batches of 50,
Oh,
which is quite low, I know.
whoever's selling it for £20, unfortunately, they're taking advantage of you.
I know, but the quality is just amazing.
But then you should challenge them.
This is why we need help.
As an investor, we're looking for a return on our capital. So over the next 3 years, give me an idea of the scale of this business.
So in the first year post-investment, the turnover is expected to be 81,000 with a net profit of 41,000. Second year, we're looking at 189,000 turnover with 95,000 net profit. And 3 years would be 400,000 turnover with a net profit of 210,000.
And when do you plan taking a salary? Because at the moment, I presume you're not.
No.
Yeah, we're not. I think we'd be looking to take a salary around about year 3.
So how do you live between now and then?
We both work full-time jobs.
Okay, so how much time are you able to allocate to the business?
We do work on it evenings and weekends.
So it feels a little bit like you underestimated what happens if you get bigger, because it's not a part-time job. Everybody thinks, well, it's just doing what we're doing, only more, but actually it isn't. Sourcing becomes much more difficult. Maintaining the right stocks in the right quantities becomes much more difficult. How do you see that happening if you're both working full-time in other jobs?
Well, I would 100% leave my job to focus solely.
But how do you live?
I've got a partner who can support me. Jenny lives at home with our mum still, so we can reduce our personal costs and we could live.
The entrepreneurs desperately try to show their commitment to the cause in the face of Deborah Meaden's scepticism about their ability to scale their part-time setup. But it appears Tuka Suleiman has heard enough and reached a decision.
Ladies, I'm going to say very honestly, this is not investable. But I really admire what you're doing.
Thank you.
I'm going to put a challenge across the whole thing here, because this is going to need a lot of focus, a lot of help. If it's up to me, I think I would not invest. But I'm very willing to share all 5 dragons to give you girls that chance, right? But for a third of the business between us, right? For a third, and a third, if they agree. So we'll put up £6,000 each. I will help you as much as I can in sourcing. If the other dragons agree, I'm sure Stephen will help you in the marketing. I'm sure Deborah will help you in your sustainability. I'm sure Sarah could help you put this on TV and show the product. And I'm sure people will magic. It's quite a wild offer. But if we all did our little bit, we can help you.
Absolutely, thank you.
An unexpected move rarely seen in the den, as Tuka Suleiman proposes a 5-way dragon deal before knowing if any of his fellow investors have any interest in the enterprise. But it seems Stephen Barnard is far from convinced by what he's heard so far.
Do I think this is perfect? I don't. I don't think you should be selling the lingerie. I think you've probably got a long way to go with the products you are selling. Do I think that the market that you're going for is big enough for me as an investor to make a return? I don't. However, I think sometimes people in life just need a little bit of support, and I can certainly help you, give you some advice on the marketing side. So I think I can be of some help. I will concur with what Tuka said. If the other dragons are in, then I am in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I agree with a lot of what Stephen says. It's not quite a business at the moment. It needs a lot of work. However, you do seem like great girls. And maybe a little bit of help will get you there. So, from my point of view, you can count me in on whatever split deal goes down today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
3 dragons are in, with 2 to go. Deborah Meaden loved the eco aspects of the business. Will the Green Queen now green light a group offer?
So there are scenarios when having a lot of dragons works. They usually rely on people working full-time in the business, because if you can imagine managing 5 dragons and working out which bit goes to which dragon and who does what. Can you imagine that? And I don't think in this scenario that is going to work. So I'm not going to be part of a 5-dragon deal.
Okay.
So I'm afraid I'm out.
I completely agree with Deborah. Mobilising 5 dragons and working together is challenging enough. And at the same time, where you are not actually in the business because the business can't afford at this time to pay you. So you don't need 5.
Can I just say, if we're not going to do the 5-dragon deal, then I'm also going to change my stance.
Hang on. You don't need 5, but I think you need 4. And I'm willing definitely to join the journey.
Praise the Lord.
I think you have absolutely knocked it out of the park. And I think you deserve the opportunity to create something great. And I believe with 4 dragons, with the skills that those individual dragons have, I think you basically got the Avengers.
I love the Avengers. It's my favourite film.
So you'll have 4 dragons. You'll have all of the money, the 30,000, for a third of the business.
I'm not even going to ask you like that. Yes.
Great.
Yes.
Well done.
Well done, guys.
Well done.
This is the start of the
Peter,
journey.
you made the baby cry, you made the entrepreneur cry, you made us cry down here. What's going on?
You've got 4 magic dragons.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well done.
Well done.
Alex and Jenny have created a moment of magic in the den. They head back to Newcastle with the £30,000 they asked for.
This is the best day ever.
And with 4 Avengers of the investment world backing their business.
I think I'm going to be sick.
Do you know what? I absolutely love sitting in this chair and getting an opportunity to invest in people like that.
I can't believe we've got 4 dragons. 4 dragons.
I feel so happy, relieved. We've worked so hard, and it's just kind of clicked.
Next up are 3 family members from mid Wales. Richard Davis, his wife Samantha, and her son Tommy Lads, who are all sticking to the water.
Cheers.
For now, at least.
We haven't had any of our product today. Today we're going to be on the straight and narrow.
They think they've come up with a slightly more interesting drink than H2O to delight the dragons.
This is a one-of-its-kind business. We are the only people in the world to do this.
I reckon that's sparkling plum wine.
3 words I really like there.
I think there's got to be a twist to it. No alcohol.
It better not be.
It's something new and everyone wants to try something new. So it's got potential to really blow up.
Borodar Dragons. My name is Richard Davis and this is my stepson Tommy Lads. And we are asking for a £50,000 investment for a 15% stake in the company. We're here today to introduce you to Gasm Drinks, the delicious cocktail in one bottle. It is a fizz infused with fruit gins, and we do it in 3 flavours: a sloe, a plum, and a raspberry.
By combining 2 of the nation's favourite drinks, we've created a premium cocktail for all occasions. With your investment, we'll be looking to use this towards funding a bottling plant, so we get the maximum quality each time. Anyway, enough of this. Who would like a cocktail?
Yes, please.
This is my wife Sam, and she's going to bring around a slowgasm first.
A what?
A slowgasm.
Oh, hello.
3 types of cocktail in a bottle that combine Prosecco fizz and fruit gin is the offering from Richard Davis and his stepson Tommy.
Next time, if you just want to slip a bit more in.
I'll hear that. Cheers. Cheers, dragons.
Cheers.
15% of the business is on the table in return for £50,000.
I'm not sure it's a good idea down in all this before the questions.
I think that's possibly part of the ploy.
Sarah Davies has diligently assessed the full range of drinks on offer,
I think you might be my favourite pitch so far this series.
and she's first to feed back on the Fun Fizz proposition.
Well, guys, I'm happy to report that all 3 have fully passed the quality test. Probably need a little bit more sampling, just to be on the safe side, but absolutely love them. Beautiful.
Thank you.
I would say where's the idea come from, but I'm going to guess the fact that the Prosecco market's so big and the gin market's so big. But what's the journey been?
We used to make sloe gin and champagne, and at picnics and gatherings together, we used to make our own together.
So you used to pour your sloe gin into champagne?
And thought, why can't it be put into one instead of carrying 2 bottles around?
Right. So at the moment, then, you're working with a filler, a manufacturer.
We're working with a subcontractor, effectively, so we give him the recipe and he then produces the product for us.
And what does a bottle of this stuff retail for?
The recommended retail price is £20.
Tommy, Richard, I like the drinks. I think they're really nice. But you can buy some really nice champagne, really nice quality champagne between £18 and £22 today.
Yeah, but I think it's the first of its kind. It's the first time you've ever seen a fruit gin infused with a fizz in one bottle, which is where it's unique, because it's a very easy pop and go cocktail all in one go.
The entrepreneurs suggest that the originality of the Prosecco Gin partnership justifies the punchy pricing of the product. And now the drink's saucy suffix has caught the attention of Stephen Bartlett.
Gasm, an intensely pleasurable experience. Talk about the inspiration behind the name.
So obviously there's an old cocktail which is called Slowgasm. So we've taken to the end of it and called it Gasm Drinks, and then decided that actually it's a really memorable, catchy name.
I actually think the name is a little bit immature, if I'm honest. I think especially when you're pricing yourself at that premium level, to call yourself Orgasm, let's be honest, that's what you've called yourself, takes away a little bit from the premium brand you're going to have to sell at that price point.
That is not the way we look at it at all. We chose that name, and in a dictionary, it's an intensely pleasurable experience. You can have chocogasm and whatever. It doesn't have to be just that one.
I think you've got a word there that's compelling, but I don't think you've got a brand that's at all compelling. Even looking at the bottle looks remarkably bland and forgettable. And then this, funny kind of immature word.
I agree. You've actually got a product that tastes really good, but you really aren't telling the story. You know, you present it in a very sedate bottle that really doesn't look in the slightest bit interesting. Although then you oddly, exactly as Stephen says, you then come up with a slightly quirky name. It kind of doesn't fit.
The entrepreneur's branding misses its mark with two of the dragons, who also suggest their product name isn't punching through. Sarah Davies now wants to find out a bit more about the pair's plans to expand.
You said you want to use the investment for doing your own bottling plant.
Yes. If we have a bottling plant, we can reduce the cost of bottle at least by £1 for each bottle.
Is it all 50,000 for the bottling plant?
No, the bottling plant in total is going to cost about £500,000 to set up and install.
Where's the rest of the money coming from?
Hopefully grant funding, as well as a loan, and also we're going to put some more money into the company as well.
So how much more money are you putting in?
We're going to put in another £50,000.
So that's £500,000 to spend to save £1 on each bottle. Okay, I think I'm just going to have a bit more to drink.
Richard and Tommy, let's just go back one stage. What's your sales at the moment?
So the financial year ending in 2020, we had a turnover of £24,000 with a net loss of £100,000.
Right, well, okay, now, what about 21?
We had a revenue of £21,000 with a net loss of £10,000. And then for predictions for the next 3 years?
One more year, because you might not last 3 years the way you're going, but tell me.
So we're looking for a revenue of £108,000 with a net loss of £51,000.
Wow. I'm going to tell you something. I've been opening and closing factories for 47 years. I don't doubt your dream, but you're running before you're walking. You're making a movie without the script. If I was in your position, I'd want to increase my sales to about $250,000 constantly over 2 years. Then I know that I've got the confidence to go and invest £500,000 in a bottling plant. Today, it's not investable, I'm afraid. And when I say those words, I'm out.
A strong cautionary warning from manufacturing maestro Tuka Suleiman before he calls time on the deal. Is Peter Jones ready to boost the bubbles business?
Tommy, Richard, I think you've got a really good idea. I think the product is I like the product a lot. I think it tastes really good. But I think that there's too many risks. You're going to have to raise a bit of cash. You're going to have to look at putting a loan in. You're going to have to go and apply for a grant. There's so many things that you haven't got already teed up and done. So I think that this is way too early for investment at this point. So I'm going to say, sadly, I'm out.
You've got a product here that every single dragon that tasted really, really loved it. However, you're going to need a rebrand, you're going to need a better strategy for how you spend your capital, and then you're going to need help with sales because you're not there with your sales yet. I'm here to invest capital. I'm not here to recruit myself to be the CEO of your company. I'm not here for a full-time job. So as much as I love the product, it's not an investable business for me, and for that reason I'm out.
If I could get up again, I would get down on my knees there and I would be begging you, do not build the bottling plant. I hope you survive, because I want to be drinking this. This is great, and I want to be a customer. But I'm out.
Thank you.
3 more dragons depart, and the entrepreneurs are hearing loud and clear that their future plans need a rethink. Sarah Davies is their last hope for investment. She loved the drinks. Will she get the corks popping by proposing a partnership?
This is a fabulous product. But you two are terrible business people. Because this is the worst business proposition I've heard since I've been in the den. You know, you are living in cuckoo land if you think the right next stage for this business to go from where you are now, losing hundreds of thousands of pounds with 20 grand a year turnover, to £500,000 investment in a bottling plant with loans and debt up to your eyeballs. I don't want you to make a mistake that you're going to have to then live with for the rest of your life, trying to repay that money. I sincerely hope you succeed. But I absolutely will not be putting my money where my mouth is going with this one. So good luck, but I'm out.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you all very much indeed.
5 no's, and the Fizz concept flops in the den. Richard and Tom depart with nothing, but the entrepreneurs aren't feeling too flat themselves.
Oh, not disastrous. They all enjoyed it.
They'd given great advice, and we've learned something from it, so positive outcome.
You look very James Bond with that little cocktail
Take a
glass.
notch to add.
Hoping for a better outcome was Polish entrepreneur Kat Brennan, who was asking for £70,000 for 15% of her business, introducing the UK to a different kind of crayon.
Bambino crayons are alternative to wax. They're made from clay. That means they're very vibrant and easy to blend in colour. You can see at the right hand side it's coloured with our crayons and the left hand side with wax crayon brand.
As the dragons demonstrated their creative sides, Tuka Suleiman wanted to know if the crayons had any competition.
Are there any more clay-produced crayons in the market?
No.
Unique?
Yes.
Crafting queen Sarah Davies was impressed.
This is a lovely product.
It is, isn't it?
But when Kat revealed her modest sales so far,
Since launching, we've made over 20,000.
some of the dragons saw red.
I've thoroughly enjoyed colouring that in, but I've got to be honest with you. I think it's a bit cheeky to come in here today with a turnover of £20,000 and try and ask me to swallow a valuation of £460,000.
Even Einstein could make those numbers work, because I can't.
While Sarah Davies was sold on the crayons,
You've brought me a product here that I wasn't familiar with, and I love.
she couldn't see the bigger picture for the business.
For 70,000, you just haven't brought me an investment I can invest in.
Stephen Bartlett's creative juices dried up,
I've sat here, I drew a couple of pictures, and I just can't get myself excited about it.
and soon the writing was on the wall for Kat's pitch with all the dragons.
I really don't feel like we've got anything here. I'm out.
And she departed to rethink her business plan.
Pacey already.
I'm a big pacer.
Really?
When I'm even a tiny bit stressed, I pace.
Next into the den are a London-based trio, Andrew Perkins, his wife Rennie, and South African-born Louis Canto y Castro.
We got this.
And the product they're pitching today
Oh, green light.
aims to make the modern world more accessible to disabled people.
The problem that we address is something that I face on a daily basis.
And there's one particular dragon in the entrepreneur's sights.
Stephen's one of the favourites for us. His experience in the digital sector, he could obviously do a lot for our business.
But we hope to get 5 offers from all the dragons and to work with them to embark on this mission together.
Hello, dragons. I'm Rennie. Today I'm here with Louis and Andy, asking for £100,000 in exchange for 5% of City Mass, the field of accessibility.
1 in 5 people in the UK have a disability. That's 14 million people. Globally, there's 1 billion people. Their spending power here is £274 billion a year. My parents have been foster caring disabled children for as long as I can remember, so I grew up witnessing firsthand the daily struggles that they went through to do everyday tasks that, me included, take for granted. And so in 2018, Rennie and I quit our banking jobs and City Mass was born. We have one mission, to make the world accessible, online and offline.
Myself and many others around the world use the internet like anybody else. The difference is we need it to be accessible in order to make our user experience easier. But the reality is, websites aren't designed with accessibility in mind. Due to inaccessible design, something as simple as purchasing items online proves extremely difficult.
What we have is
Assist Me, a website plugin that users control how they like to interact with any website.
based on their needs and preferences, whether it's to change the letter or word spacing for dyslexia, or the color contrast and background for the visually impaired. And Mobility Map, a global platform providing accessibility information of places, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a cafe, whether it's a museum, whether it's a department store, etc. And the third one is Aware, our automated accessibility audit tool, already scanned about 1 million web pages against web content accessibility guidelines.
We can make every business accessible to everyone, so join us. If somebody would like to come and try out our technology, Louis is going to walk you through. Any volunteers?
3 products to help businesses become more inclusive, including a plugin to make websites more accessible for a range of disabled users, is the proposition from Andrew and Rennie Perkins and Louis Canto y Castro.
We have 4 presets that you can play with. The first one is for the visually impaired, so if you click on that, you'll see the colors become more vibrant and the letters increase as well.
The entrepreneurs are seeking £100,000 in return for 5% of their business.
If you click on the next adjustment, this is based around people who are colorblind, so sometimes they need different kind of contrast.
Fab, thank you.
Deborah Meaden knows all too well the issues that the entrepreneurs are tackling, and she's first with the questions.
Hi, guys. So my sister, and she doesn't mind me talking about it, she's in a wheelchair. She does complain about online accessibility. So can we really hone in on that? Because the thing I would really like to understand is the range of disabilities that you're talking about. Louis, I'm going to ask you, what do you use this for?
So I can use the internet by my voice only, because I do have very limited mobility problems. So my voice technology is what I rely on, and that plugin helps me get to places on a website if it's not labeled properly. So, example, if I want to click on my shopping cart that I've put items into, if it isn't labeled shopping cart, my voice technology is not going to find it. So I could rely on AssistMe to do that.
Okay, so how many of the range of disabilities do you think it covers off?
Well, the 4 categories that we're working on are visual impairment, cognitive, mobility, and attention disorders as well.
So you cover attention?
Yes. Our AssistMe can even stop animations from moving, because if you have an attention disorder and something's moving, you're going to look at it.
The trio's thorough approach to supporting the disabled community strikes a chord with Deborah Meaden. Now, Tuka Suleiman wants to find out if their laudable endeavours are also producing any cash.
I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
But where are you on this journey?
We launch this year, but it's already seen impacts.
So revenue-wise, we've done £72,000 in the past year.
So give me an idea what it costs, who would pay for it, and is it a subscription? Is it a one-off payment?
So AssistMe ranges from £30 to £45 a month subscription. So the intention is to make businesses pay for this technology so that people like myself don't have to pay for the technology.
Do you not think that it makes more sense for the user who has those needs to have their own browser plugin so that every website they go on has increased accessibility, versus trying to make the case to a retailer they need to spend X a month and make changes to their code? It feels like an easier fight to say, here's a tool for everybody across all websites.
I think the problem with that approach is you're putting the emphasis on the disabled user. They have to have this installed. They have to have equipment in order to use your website. If a business is genuinely trying to be accessible to everyone, they'll provide the tools. They'll make sure the checks are done.
And how it will help the business is it will allow them to increase their engagement. We've had our AssistMe on one of our partners' websites, and it increased her engagement by up to 2,000%.
By outlining a philanthropic business model that helps prolong internet usage, the entrepreneurs attempt to put the wowzers into the Dragon's investment browsers. Peter Jones is a titan of the tech world, and he's ready to give his verdict on the online offering.
Congratulations for even coming up with this. I'm involved in a lot of tech, and I think this is very, very necessary. I understand the model, and I agree with the model. You don't want the user to have any level of responsibility and have to pay for any such service of such a plugin. But I think your strategy is actually incorrect. I think that your strategy should be far more akin to a plugin that is a free download for every website in the world. And from there, you move into an affiliate program. And that means that when companies are able to download your plugin for free, not £30 a month, you then take income from transactional-based activity that takes place as a result of that plugin. And all of a sudden, you've got something very interesting, especially if you provide this to some very big brands.
I think that's interesting.
I have to say that I just feel, parking a 2 million valuation, what you're asking for is a real shift in the marketplace. And those shifts don't come along very often. They take time. They're very slow burn. And I just think that this isn't an investment opportunity. And that's the only reason why, sadly, I'm out. But I wish you the very best of luck.
Peter Jones thinks the entrepreneurs might be making a mistake with the business model of their web accessibility application, and he becomes the first dragon out. Does Tuka Suleiman have a space in his portfolio for the plug-in proposition?
Look, I think disability is a big issue, and I think you're doing a great job. But I think today you have failed, as far as I'm concerned, to actually put across the actual business proposition. You've got a high valuation, and there was no, we'll do X amount the first year, we'll do Y amount the second year. So you've not convinced me that in the short term, this is investable. So for that reason, I'm out.
I love what I've heard today, what I've seen today, your passion for it, but I am not the tech one here. I mean, I've listened to the guys talking there, but they might as well have been talking Swahili. Out of it that I actually understood. And because my knowledge and experience in this area is so limited, I don't see what I can add to this business. So I'm going to tell you that I'm out, but best of luck with the business.
My reason to love what you're doing, I think, is probably obviously because I've got first-hand experience of exactly the issues. So that side I completely get. But unfortunately, you know, the same as I'm not particularly techie, and I just don't think I'm your natural investor. So I'm really sorry, but I won't be investing. I'm out.
Deborah Meaden doesn't think she's the right fit for the tech-based offering and makes it 4 dragons, who've now exited the discussion. Stephen Bartlett is their last hope for investment and their favoured dragon. Will he provide some access of his own to £100,000 of cash?
You've committed your lives to a challenge that I think you're aware, if successful, can potentially help hundreds of millions of people, and that is something that one can only admire, because if you do succeed, the world's a better place. But my belief is that you're solving it in the wrong way. And I think that the approach of knocking on one door at a time, seeing this as a sales business and charging fees, isn't the right approach. And for that reason, I think it's an investable opportunity. So as much as I applaud you as entrepreneurs, and I do hope you succeed, for me it's not an investment I can make today, so for that reason I'm out.
Thank you so
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Louis.
Thank you. Best of luck with this.
Andrew, Rennie and Louis entered the den hoping for 5 offers. They leave with 5 rejections and without the £100,000 they were seeking.
Real problem, I think wrong approach.
Didn't go our way today, but obviously to take on feedbacks and achieve our mission.
It was really great to see them understand the importance of it, and we'll get there.
Last up tonight are Chris Burdett and Alex Lever, who think they might be on the cusp of something big, and they're hoping a dragon or dragons can help them get the success they're seeking.
when you're bringing a new product to market, it's a tough journey, which is why we're here today.
For Chris, who invented the product, bagging a dragon will mean more than just a boost for the business.
I never finished school. I've been on building sites since I was 16, so to get the investment from the dragon today, it'll give me a nice sense of self-achievement.
Let's do this.
Hello Dragons, I'm Alex.
And I'm Chris, and we are Pipe Snug.
We're here today asking for £100,000 in return for 7.5% of our business. Nearly every building will have some form of pipe running through a hole in a wall. If this hole is not being properly sealed, or the seal weathers over time, then this can cause the warm air to escape and cold air and pests to come in. Pipe Snug is, as far as we're aware, the world's only airtight, integrated collar seal that solves this problem.
Right, so very easy to fit. You push your Pipe Snug in, you then push your pipe in, and that seals an instant watertight and airtight seal around the pipe.
Building regulations have recently been updated, and they now require that every single installation needs a pipe collar. So this presents us with an amazing opportunity for growth. Pipe Snug is a completely unique product. We've got international patents, and we've recently sold our 200,000th unit. Thank you very much for listening, and we'd also like to invite a dragon to come up and try Pipe Snug out for themselves.
Go on, Deborah.
Come on, Deborah.
A quick and easy solution to sealing around a pipe where it exits a wall.
What have I got to do?
Is the offering from Chris Burdett and Alex Lever.
Yeah, you push the Pipe Snug in.
Pipe in. Tight.
Get your pipe and just literally push it in the hole.
They're asking for a £100,000 investment in return for a 7.5% slice of their business.
Wow. No, that was not.
Stephen Bartlett is first to probe the pipe product pair.
Alex, Chris, what exactly have you protected about Pipe Snug? What's the sort of unique element that's been patented?
It's the fact that it's a seal around a pipe, and you've got a rigid section and a flexible section, and it's that combination that actually allows you to easily insert it and remove it as well if you need to.
And is there anybody else achieving the same objective with a different solution?
No.
No, we're the only one on the market that we're aware of.
What do people do at the moment?
So currently, traditional methods are expanding foam.
Nasty. Solid on your fingers.
Yeah.
Can't get it off.
And obviously mortar. Now the problem with mortar, which is the most traditional way, is that obviously a pipe will expand and contract along with the weather. Now with mortar, it doesn't contract in the same way, so you'll see that the mortar's cracked and fallen out of pipes over time.
Okay, and price-wise, how much would this cost me?
That is currently retailing at about $8.47.
And if I was going to do the traditional method, what would that cost me?
If you was doing it in mortar, so time and materials was 18 quid we worked out for someone that does it day in, day out.
With a product that saves both time and money, Chris and Alex would appear to have a wonder creation on their hands. But Stephen Bartlett wants to find out if their unparalleled pipe is actually generating much cash.
You said you've done 200,000 in sales so far. What does that equate to in revenue?
So our first full year of trading was 2018, and we did £20,000 of sales with a £13,000 net loss. The following year we did £100,000 in sales with a 36 net loss. The year after, which was COVID affected, we had a £76,000 turnover and a £45,000 loss. And so far this year we've done £44,000 and a £2,000 net profit.
If this were to be as revolutionary as it seemed to be when you first talked about it, how come that isn't reflected in sales? Why isn't this taking off?
Well, I think when we did release it 2 or 3 years ago, they hadn't changed the regulations to say that it was important. Since then, it has changed, and the regulations say you've got to fill it with a grommet.
From when?
That comes in June 2022. And so builders up and down the country are going to have to use a product, and as far as we're aware, there is no alternative.
Losses so far, but the entrepreneurs are convinced the combination of regulation change, being first to market, and patent protection makes them a money spinner in waiting. But it seems Peter Jones is more concerned with the price tag the pair have placed on their company than the promise of lucrative returns in the future.
You've You've valued this business at 1.3 million. And you're not even smiling, you're serious.
Yeah.
This is pipe snug, not pipe mug. You've had sales last year of £76,000, a net loss of 45, and you value a business at 1.3 million.
But that's all changing. We've been ahead of our time on this product. Yeah, and the stars are aligning.
But if they're aligning, why have you not walked in here and said, I've got £500,000 worth of orders, we need capital to go and kickstart this? Why have you not got something like that? You need to tell us very quickly, because there's something not quite right.
It's about trying to drive that message to all those large contractors, to all those large house builders.
No, but they know they're ahead of the game. They'll be more ahead of regulatory changes than you.
You'd be surprised. Until they're forced to do something, they won't do it.
I too am really puzzled because there is something stopping this lighting up.
The modest sales so far for a product the entrepreneurs are claiming is a game changer for the building trade has the dragons scratching their heads. And it seems Chris and Alex have failed to persuade Tuka Suleiman that they have a business that's worth backing.
Guys, I mean, you've worked very hard on this 3 or 4 years. You haven't got anywhere really substantial. You've got an idea that might be a gold mine, might not.
Even if they're forced to use it, you still can't.
Well, nobody's forced to use anything. Wait, the thing is, they will find a way around it. Are you telling me that nobody's going to get around your patent?
We can't think of a way of doing it.
Well,
no.
Anyway, look, guys, you've not convinced me. So on that basis, I'm out.
Tuka Suleiman isn't sold on the proposition, and he becomes the first dragon to decline the deal. The Queen of Crafts, Sarah Davies, is more at home with pipe cleaners than pipes for buildings. What does she make of the whole ceiling solution?
The scale of the opportunity feels monumental when those building regulations change next year. What I'm not convinced about is your ability to execute the business plan on the scale of that opportunity, which leads it to feel high risk, and that is the thing that's stopping me from wanting to make an offer today. So, I'm sorry guys, it's not one for me.
Okay, thank you. Alex, Chris, I don't know enough about those building regs, and I don't know enough about the other solutions to solve this problem on the market. So as an investor, I feel like I don't have enough information, or you've not given me enough confidence that this will be a bet worth making. So for that reason, I wish you the very best, but I'm out.
Stephen Bartlett is unwilling to take a punt on the business, and now only 2 dragons remain. Deborah Meaden has a plethora of DIY and building products in her portfolio. Will she be the dragon launchpad to skyrocket the business?
I don't know, there's something strange. There is something niggling me, because this ranges from selling very little indeed to absolutely cleaning up. That's the range of possibilities.
So while Deborah's just thinking about this, I'm genuinely there's so much I'm confused about, because I'm not known for investing in DIY products. But I'm sort of sitting here thinking, I just don't want to miss something and look back. It almost feels like I'm in Las Vegas, and that's the level of gamble, and I really do feel that. But I am going to make you an offer. So I'm going to offer you half of the money, £50,000, for 15% of the company. And this would be the first time I've ever made an offer of investment on something that I find really boring.
Peter Jones rolls the dice, but doesn't fully commit. His half offer will mean nothing unless Deborah Meaden will agree to match his terms. And her serious doubts don't appear to have gone away.
I don't understand why it hasn't caught light yet. There is something that is blocking it. And I don't know enough about the regulations.
Would it be helpful if I showed you? I've got a printout of...
No, honestly, life's too short.
Fair enough.
I presume that you're telling me the truth. So, now if you have got that, and we haven't got blocks, and I can find that out very, very quickly, then we really do have something here. So I am going to make you an offer. I'm going to offer you all of the money, but I want 30% of the business, or I'm prepared to share it with Peter.
Okay. Do you want to talk to the wall?
We did bring our own wall to talk.
So finally, 2 offers for Alex and Chris to mull over. Deborah Meaden is happy to stump up the £100,000 alone, but she's also willing to share a deal with Peter Jones.
This is like way more than we were.
But both offers are for 30% of the business, 4 times the 7.5% that's up for grabs.
He knows too much.
And for the position we're in now, I think we've got to consider it.
And it seems the entrepreneurs want to renegotiate.
Okay, Peter, Deborah, thank you very much indeed for the offers. Much appreciated. Is there any way you consider coming down to sharing 20% between the two of you, 10% each?
Don't get carried away. You've got a business that has been pretty much stagnant. You've lost 13,000, then you lost 36,000, and then you lost 45,000. Please don't get carried away.
No?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll accept your offer.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Good
Well done,
guys.
guys.
Alex and Chris clinch the deal. They head home having secured the £100,000 they were seeking, a powerhouse dragon duo for their business, and the prospect of a very bright future ahead of them.
Can't wait for this off my shoulders.
From a personal perspective, come out of Dragon's Den with an offer from Deborah and Peter. It's a really good feeling.
Peter said that he feels like he's in Vegas and we want to make sure he hits the jackpot.
Can you imagine if this turns into something
Piping hot.
piping hot? Well done, Stephen.
Learning from the best, Peter.
So, Chris and Alex clean up with their hole-filling building product. And with an easy access maternity wear concept also getting investment tonight, it just shows that sometimes the simplest ideas are the ones that really wow the crowd. Next time on Dragon's Den.
There's nothing I'd like more than to be shouted at by Deborah Meaden.
This is what we do. We turn dreams into reality.
You're going to need a magic wand.
Do you have one?
If you accept Tuka's offer for 35%, you're going to have to give up your firstborn.
You, little so-and-so. That's the sort of stuff I expect from Jones, not you.
BBC One tomorrow night, Have I Got News For You, starts a new series at 9 o'clock. Clive Myrie in the hot seat. Next, Gordon Ramsay, who will be his future food star. For starters, he's got them jumping off a cliff in Cornwall. And new on BBC Two now, How to Sleep Well with Michael Mosley.